And, right, and then we go with this.
Now, I would like to introduce the one, the only, me.
All right, folks, it's Dre, Tattoo Squid Podcast. That's my intro, if you like it or not. But we're talking with Jackie Miranda. Really, I'm not good with the last name. But we're just Jackie from Cause of Death. You know, sounds like a heavy metal, death metal band, but no, it's a podcast. And I guess they're going to be talking about death and what happens. Maybe a toe tag. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, that would be a good. We call it poster art. You know, for the episode. And I don't know. Have you ever seen we call what I do on the poster art?
I haven't.
Well,
I haven't seen it yet.
So for anybody else that's listening that doesn't really know what's going on, this is like a somewhat interview / talk show kind of thing. And I talk to guests, and then guests, we talk about whatever, and whatever kind of stuff that we talk about, whatever it could be. It could be, drinking or bar hopping or whatever, what kind of favorite movie, and I'll write them all down. And then when this episode will come out, which is like usually in a couple weeks to like a month, because I got like almost like a month and a half of other guests that I'm doing in order. Yeah. So when it comes out, and then I make a poster art where of all the stuff that we talked about, and I'll put like cartoon versions of ourselves or cartoon versions of what, if we're talking about a movie, and it's really cool. If you look at my page, you'll see certain art stuff that I have done, like Photoshop art kind of thing.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and there's some of it is like, well, most of it is like really, really cool, and that's somewhat what I'm known for. And certain people are like, you are famous for this, and I'm like, I did not know I was famous for it. I just it's something I like to do, and it goes with the podcast, and everybody has their own shtick, I guess. So Cause of Death. What is the Cause of Death podcast? Obviously it's about death, and what happens. But
well, actually, it's not. It's about disease and why it happens,
stand corrected,
and
folks.
how it affects society, and yeah.
Disease and what would you say? Disease and what else?
How it affects society, and what happens when there's like in a book like we're going through now.
Oh yeah.
When I talked about COVID, which there were like 3 episodes on COVID, and then I was like, okay, I'm over it. I am over this. We have other things to talk about. But when I talked about COVID, I talked about, high death rates and how they affect society, and how like now people are saying people don't want to work. Well, I'm pretty sure that 850,000 people who died would love to have a job right now. But, so that's kind of what it's about. And I go back through history and talk about things like the Spanish flu pandemic.
Yeah.
And my latest episode was on diphtheria.
Okay.
And so things like that. And I talk about, the different kinds of vaccines and the different diseases and just everything that surrounded them.
Now, were you a fan of, like, say, like, well, everybody's a fan of school at a certain point, but have you gone to like classes about like for diseases and or how did this become about, for diseases that you want to talk about for the podcast?
I have a bachelor's of science degree in microbiology, immunology, and virology. And I've been working in disease research for 15 years. 15 years now.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh, so you got like some like stake in the whole thing as it is. So
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
it's like I know a lot about the stuff, you know. So, but through high school, have you ever done anything, you know, besides like, you know, diseases? Have you gone to like, what's your favorite well, I was gonna say what's your favorite subject, but we all know now that is, you know, microbiology and other stuff. But I mean, did you have you know, like when we used to do like social stuff, like say like baseball or like extracurricular activities or anything?
Actually, I played baseball for a while. I played softball on the girls' team,
Oh,
and yeah, and I played volleyball and soccer. So I'm not a complete geek nerd.
nice. Well, most of us are not really complete. Well, then you got others that are just, you know, do computer and well, I mean, you can't say there's like people that do computers are geeks. It's like they just never go out of their home, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
I get to that point too.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, I mean, nowadays, you know, people don't really get out like COVID. Nobody, you know, couldn't go out as it is because they were scared, obviously. And but you know, me, I had to work because I worked in um a company where they do vitamins. So technically I was like deemed essential.
Yes.
So and you know, so I had to go and I was out there in the trenches, so to speak. And you know, you go out there and you do your job and you know, wear the mask and you know, wash your hands and do the sterilization of your hands as well. It's like we're doing surgery like outside, you know, other
Yeah.
than, you know, people doing surgery inside.
Right.
And
Right.
but hold on, let me just
And
write.
I was in the lab working with it. So the minute it broke, we got the virus and we just went to work.
Oh, so you're like on the in the forefront of doing this whole looking at COVID and everything else and what to.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
thank you for helping us out, actually.
Oh, I
You know,
appreciate it. Thank you.
you know,
Yeah.
I was like, I never, and you know, in the beginning, and I have to say this because this is, there are people that might be like a political thing, I'm going to say, but it doesn't mean anything. I have to explain that because I don't want them to go like, oh, what the fuck are you saying? Ah, you know, no, but to me, when in the beginning of this whole thing, I thought it was like a farce or something because in the beginning, you know, you see this thing that came from China, and then all of a sudden, automatically, you know, a whirlwind, like everything started happening. There's like so many people died in this one, and the death rate was going up and up and up and up,
Mhm.
and I didn't think I'm thinking like, oh, it's a government thing or whatever, you know, how come it's like so fast and nobody doesn't know what to do about it, and it's been going on for like a year and stuff been shutting down. Oh, you're not going to be able to get, it's almost like watching all right, for lack of not lack of a better term, but like I was watching a movie with Chuck Norris,
Uh-huh.
not to saying that it's the same thing, but it kind of dwells on that a little bit. Like Chuck Norris did a movie called Invasion USA, and you know, it's about terrorists and all that, which I'm not saying COVID is like terrorists, but things happen where, you know, certain towns they couldn't get meat or because of this terrorist stuff going on. And now with COVID, you know, in the beginning, nobody couldn't get, you know, meat. You had to have certain amount of meat. Like you couldn't get like a shitload of meat to bring
Right,
home.
right, right,
And you had to pick, you had to get like 2 or 3 minimum, and
right.
toilet paper, which that alone,
Wasn't that insane?
that was so fucking, to me that was so fucking stupid. I'm like, I can understand the the alcohol wipes, the uh you know,
Clorox.
sanitation, you know,
Yeah.
the sanitation Clorox, the sanitation stuff that we put on your hands. I keep on forgetting the name of it.
The hand
Yeah,
sanitizer.
the hand
Yeah.
sanitizer, thank you. And then but then all of a sudden there's like no toilet paper. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, does COVID make a shit worse or something? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I never had it. I mean, I felt sick here and there, but half the time people saying, oh, well, it's like you have the flu. I'm like, well, how are you supposed to know you have the flu or you have COVID? I'm like, is it, like COVID makes you, sicker and shit more than you usually do when you're sick? Or, I mean, I was trying to find the funny in the whole thing because,
Well,
yeah,
I called it the Great Toilet Paper Wars of 2020.
yeah, basically, it's
That's
like
what I
college.
put, yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I'm standing in line for an hour and a half just to get a package of toilet paper.
Yeah,
This is crazy. It was just insane. And I understand why it happened. I understand why the supply chain went crazy. And still it was like, I don't get, I, I don't understand the toilet paper thing. I could understand food. I could understand, the sanitation stuff. I could understand Clorox, whatever.
yeah,
But toilet paper, really? You know,
I know. It's like, actually, I might make that my title, the toilet paper conspiracies. You know,
there you go. The Great Toilet Paper Conspiracy of
oh,
2020.
the great toilet paper caper. Yeah.
I love it.
So I always, that's another thing. And I know you go through this too. We call it like, you think of like an episode and you got to think of like a title for the episode. And
Uh-huh.
I always try to do something fun, kind of like, like it will catch somebody's eye,
Oh yeah, I do that too. I don't just say, yeah, this is the story of diphtheria. That's boring.
Yeah, yeah,
You
it's
know,
like,
I
like,
I put it out there as the strangling angel,
like, the shit, the wipe and the toilet, or
There
something,
you go. Yeah, of
or,
course, of
or
course.
the shit, the wipe and the flush, yeah, yeah,
That's
or, yeah,
that'd be a good one for E. coli, actually, or
yeah.
salmonella.
But like I said, I rarely talk about like, diseases and all that. And, um, but then now you figure, because like, well, you're in New Mexico, so you probably haven't seen like snow yet. But like over here, we're doing a blizzard nor'eastern thing right now. So
Oh dear God.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why I don't live over there. That's why I live here, is
yeah.
because it snows. We get 3 flakes and everyone goes, "Oh my God, school's canceled."
It's like that. It's like that meme with that little kid with all the groceries. I see a flake. I gotta get food. You know.
Yep, yep, yep.
I was like, holy shit. But then, but half the time I don't believe like weather reports. Because weathermen to me are like doctors.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm not saying, all right. Like I had a family member that had a terminally ill disease, and
Uh-huh.
like cancer and all that. And then they were like, oh, this person's not gonna, got like 6 months to live. And I'm like, are you
Oh,
kidding me? I'm like, and then how a person would go, they get distraught and get all bent out of shape.
of course,
um
yeah.
and then so I would go and say, um then they do the biopsy again. They're like, oh, it's not as treacherous as we thought. And I'm like, the fuck are they paying you? I'm like, first you saying that they don't live. I'm like, you're tugging on people's heartstrings.
Mhm.
And and to the point where myself and like their and her, the family members, we're looking at this doctor, and the doctor's right next to this window, and he's saying this. I'm like, listen, yeah, you got a person that is like almost married into the family, and you got all these Italians, and you're standing right next to the window. Guess what's going to happen? Yeah, yeah. And it's
Oh
like
my goodness.
we're gonna look the other way. So it's like a mafia hit person. Um, and then but that was that. And my point was, shit, I'm trying to figure out what my point was now. I just got into the whole thing. And no, but so they told us about that. Oh yeah, no, doctors and weathermen. They tell you that, but then weathermen on another retrospect, they would tell you, oh, we got this huge storm coming, and it's going to be thunder and lightning, and gods are going to pray for everything, whatever, and
Right,
they
right,
make it
right.
sound like it's going to be a huge thing, and then next thing you know, the next day is like, oh, it's a sun shower, and
Yep. Mhm.
so I tried, and then because my girlfriend would turn around, she's like, oh my god, it's gonna be nasty tomorrow. I'm like, well, let's wait and see what happens, like, let's
Right,
not go overboard, because they say one thing and it could be sunny with 95 fucking degrees,
right, right.
and that's like how women, that's how, like, doctors will go and say, oh well, this one has appendicitis, and then next thing you know, you're growing another leg, you know and it's like, where's the appendicitis, is it
Right.
in the
What
leg,
happened with that?
and I'm like, is it in the third leg that's coming out of, like being an arachnid or something, or some shit, and but that's what I'm saying. I was like, like all these craziness with diseases and COVID, and now it seems like something's going, it slows down, and everybody's getting
Mhm,
comfortable, and we don't really have to wear a mask sometimes, and if you're
mhm.
vaccinated, and then all of a sudden now it's like, oh, here comes the Omicron, and I'm like a fucking transformer, you know, and I'm like, and if you don't know, I mean, you know what transformers are, right?
Yeah,
The
I know what I know what a transformer is, and that's kind of, I mean, you hit it kind of right on the head with the variants. That's what they do. They transform into something
Well,
else.
yeah, but I mean the name of it, because there is a it's called Omicron, and there
Oh,
is a,
really?
but no, that's the name, right? Omicron,
Okay.
right? That's what they
O-
named it, the variant.
Omicron, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there is a transformer called Unicron.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
and there's certain people that heard that and they're like, a fucking transformer? It's like, wait, we're dealing with like the Decepticons or something, and I'm like, oh shit. I mean, yeah, it does sound like it. You're waiting for this thing, and then you're gonna show like the variant going like, you know, making that transformer noise going and
Yeah, yeah,
changing.
yeah. Going into the other thing. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but then then they named like another variant, after an airline, you know, like, hey, the Delta
Yeah.
variant. I'm like, oh great, we're all gonna die on the airplane, which I'm not good with heights anyway, but so heights and snakes, not my cup of tea. So I
Not your gig. Yeah, I
no,
don't
no,
like snakes.
I'll watch like Snakes on the Airplane movie, but that's all I'm gonna go to. If I go on an airplane, I have to drink, even though if I don't drink, I might have to get like a doctor's thing and say, hey, can you give me some kind of pill that's gonna like knock me out? Um, because I don't know what it was. I don't know what my whole uh thing about airplanes or heights, because I was always afraid of heights, and even now when I work, I have to get on this machine that goes up, and it goes like 9 feet in the air,
Oh dear.
and and then it's like, it's cool, but when you get to that one part where there's nothing in between you and it rocks, like you're like, oh shit,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
where's the barf bag when you need it, it's not
Yeah. That's
there.
not good. That's not
No,
good at
no,
all.
especially like, and then you look out, you're like, holy crap, and your legs are jello, and I can't even go on rooftops, like on, like say to help my dad at one point,
Uh-huh.
and he's like, hey, we're gonna go work on the roof. I'm like, okay. And then you get on that ladder that's not that fucking sturdy.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's fine, here it's sturdy. I'm like, no, it's not, it's swaying when I'm moving, you and then you get on there and you look down, you're like, oh fuck, your knees are, so that's, I guess that's like my phobia. So, but do you have any phobias actually? Since we're on the
Do
subject.
I? Um, I am afraid of heights, terrified of
Ah, a
heights.
fellow friend of Hiders.
Yeah, I'm terrified of heights, and I don't like big, like the ocean. It scares me, the ocean.
Oh, that's when
See?
you shut that window slip and go, you know.
Yeah. I can sit on the beach and I can go out a little ways as long as I can feel the floor, feel the bottom.
Yeah,
But yeah, the minute a big wave hits, I'm like, yeah, done, out of here, done.
like yeah, fuck it, yeah,
That
yeah.
was fun. Yeah, we'll just go back over here on the beach where it's solid ground.
Yeah, I told was it I don't like well, and also you figure I live in Long Island, I should know how to swim, but I don't know how to swim and I don't like going on boats. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
so I mean, boats is no problem, but when you get into I don't know, my mom said this one time. She's like, "Well, why don't you go on a cruise?" I'm like, "That's a boat. That's gonna be on the
Uh-huh.
water." And she
Uh-huh.
goes, "Yeah, but it's fine. It's perfectly safe." I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Until there's a huge fucking storm."
Uh-huh.
I'm like, "Have you
Yeah.
seen the movie 2014?" You know, or no, was it 2012?
Or even Titanic.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, this thing sinks and there you are. You're out in the middle of the ocean.
yeah, but I'm not gonna go and stand over a girl and going la la la.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna go to the the front of the freaking ship and
And
then like
start
I'm saving the world and then you die.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
no. I'm finding the nearest life raft and trying to get back to solid ground.
Yeah, if that or I'm gonna find the freaking iceberg that you just fucking hit, and then
Right. Yeah.
go on there. I'm
Absolutely.
like, sorry, get out up here.
Mine.
Yeah, this is my life raft,
Mine.
mine only, and you can't use it. And yeah, especially when they, like you go on an airplane, you go over, okay, fine, you hit turbulence, and you're like freaking out because my first time going on an airplane.
Uh-huh.
And we were well, not first time because I've gone on airplanes when I was little, but when you're younger, your inhibitions are not, they're not enticed,
Oh, right.
because you're like, you're a kid, so you want to run around, you want to, you're like, oh, well, the airplane has stilts, when you're a kid, that's what you figure
You
out,
kind of think, yeah.
yeah, you figure, oh, an airplane has stilts, and that's why we're going across the water, and yes, folks, that's how I thought of this shit when I was younger. you know, but now when you get older and then you go on an airplane by yourself somewhat with no, I actually went with my wife and we went to Georgia, and it was like maybe not even like a 5 hour thing or something. I don't know how long it
Right.
was, but you hit turbulence and like, oh, son of a bitch, what the fuck? And you're gripping that chair, like, and you're gonna rip it out because nobody's gonna be able to pull you off the fucking thing. And I'm like, and I couldn't drink anything because I'm the one that's gonna be driving because let alone my
Oh,
wife
no.
had cancer. And so all of a sudden after we called, I was like, okay, got him. And I actually did as I got to the thing, we got to the airport, I actually kissed the fucking ground. You know, and people are looking at me like, why are we going on an airplane? And all of a sudden, it's like my wife's like, stop it. You're freaking the people out. I'm like, everything's fine. I just like being underground, and then we did that and we're driving around and, then we got on the boat. I'm like, which is fine. We're going there. It's sunny out. We're going across to an island. I'm like, we had a good time, and everything's good. But if I'm going to go on a cruise ship, and there's like, oh, by the way, there's a storm coming, we're gonna have choppy waters. I'm like, fucking shit.
I
I'm
know,
like,
right?
nah.
Yeah, no,
I've seen these
no.
and my wife, and God love her, because she watches like plane crashes before we get on the plane,
Oh my God.
because she's used to going on airplanes where she went to Kenya, she went to England, she went
Okay.
to, but there was like certain things, like when she went to Kenya, there was like a foreign exchange kind of thing. So somebody from
Okay.
Kenya was coming here. She was
Sure.
going to Kenya. So she got on an airplane, and as soon as they went on the airplane, she was going there. And then she said like two of the engines turned off, and then they had to come back. changed to a different airplane. Then they went up, and another 2 engines went on. I'm like, maybe they
Oh.
don't want you to go over there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was just
Oh, that
like,
would be terrifying.
I know. And then now
Oh
she
my
watches, and then
god.
like our first time going on a trip together, sitting, in my room watching TV, and we're about to go to sleep or whatever. And then she puts on airplane crashes. I'm like, the fuck are you doing? You know, and she goes, watching TV. It's airplane crashes. We're gonna be on an airplane tomorrow. And I'm like, you're freaking me out here. And she goes, oh, don't worry, it's nothing. And she sleeps on it with the turbulence, and it's no problem. Me,
Oh my god.
I'm like Captain Kirk. We call it, oh, what the fuck's his name? Oh shit, the guy that played Captain Kirk. People,
Oh, William Shatner?
William Shatner. Thank you. People are gonna yell at me like, you don't know who the fuck it is. William Shatner, like when he was in that Twilight movie, where he's sitting, in the airplane, and he looks out the window, and there's this fucking monster destroying the fucking wing, and he shuts the thing. He goes, there's a monster out there. And they look like, there's nothing out there. And then he opens it up, and then there's this monster looking in the window at him. They're like, hello, how are you? So I'm like, shit, that's how I felt, not like that, um, but then we went to Ireland, and again, I couldn't be able to drink anything. I think I had like 1 or 2 drinks. That was it. But it kind of calmed me down. And then we were driving around, uh, and everything was fine. And then we had a chance to go to Italy, because her brother wanted to get married in Italy. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. Then they looked at me, and they're like, Andre, you gonna drive in Italy? I'm like, no. I drove in Ireland. Fuck that. I want to drink. So I'm drinking on the airplane, and I'm drinking in Italy. So it's gonna be a non-sober fucking week and a half. Yeah. And it's like, what, you're gonna wake up drinking? I'm like, I'm gonna have limoncello when I wake up. And which it was true. I did have limoncello when I woke up.
It's a good way. It's a good way to start your day. I'm telling
Yeah,
you, breakfast.
because we had we had my brother-in-law at the time. We call it, they had 2 villas that they rented out in Italy, in Montecinello, Italy. And I had to think of the name, but when you look at the place now, given we were like 7 hours late getting to this place, because the directions were just like ridiculous.
Hmm.
And we got there, was like 7 hours late. A lot better than what my friend Jerry, and his family, they were a day and a half late. And we
Oh
were
my
on
god.
the same fucking plane.
Oh
And
no.
we left at the same time. And they were a day and a half late.
How did that work?
I don't know. I think what it was is that um my friend speaks um not Italian, but it's a different kind of Italian. I forgot
Does
the
he
name of
speak
it.
Sicilian or?
Sicilian, thank you. Yes, Sicilian. He speaks Sicilian, so I think it was like broken translation, I think.
Oh
But
yeah.
also they had 2 rent-a-cars, and his father-in-law didn't know how to drive stick.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's the only thing they had. And so now he had to drive, and he had to wait for him to get, catch up. And it was like, a stop and go kind of thing. And I think
Right.
that's what happened. So most of us, we were drinking at the villa, and I'm like, I'm drinking white wine. And I found some beer and everything else. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then all of a sudden we got they had a phone, and you figure back then, nobody really, cell phones weren't like even a thing.
Right. Right.
How we're gonna get in touch with these people, and they had like a phone from the rent-a-car place that you can be able to use on your trip. So, but yeah, let alone we had a great time, drank, those little not little people, but there's like kids, gypsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
It was great. You get the drink, you got to see the agriculture, you see all the culture of different stuff. and gypsies are trying to steal your fucking wallet.
Yeah,
And
well,
yeah, and it's a wonderful
yeah.
time. And then you got people making caricatures of your face, and my face had this huge fucking nose. And I'm like, are you trying to say something? Like I have a big nose or something? What the fuck? Yeah. But overall, that was like the best time. I had like, me and my wife went to Ireland. We had a great time. We always do our stuff together and went to Ireland. I mean, Italy, and we always have a good time on there. And she went other places, but I try to go to other places. I want to go to I wanted to go to Australia,
Oh yeah.
but then I found out about how big the fucking bugs are, and I'm like, no. I
Yeah,
don't
and
want to.
every snake there is venomous.
Yeah, and that was the other thing.
Yeah.
Snakes, fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, and then a friend of mine that's on a podcast, his podcast, honoring mentions, like for the booze, and then he does one where it's called break on through.
Oh.
So it's like a song, I guess. But he said that he lives in Florida, and he goes, "Oh yeah, there's snakes everywhere," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not visiting you." Yeah, there's snakes in there and alligators. I'm like, fuck that, because I got family. I got family that lives down there, and they for some reason I'm like, I don't know how the hell they cope with that. I'm like, I'm afraid of like big ass fucking rats when we're living in Long Island. We got
Oh
rats.
yeah, you guys have rats.
She's like,
Yeah,
oh,
you have rats.
you guys got rats. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait,
Yeah.
what you got over there in New Mexico? You got scorpions, don't you?
We have scorpions, we have tarantulas, and we have snakes. We have rattlesnakes and bull snakes, and we have blue racers and all kinds of snake species that you kind of have to be
Oh,
Yeah.
your stay is a ball of fun. Yeah. Where you go, anybody that wants to go to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the only thing that's venomous is the hookers. And but I say nay. I just want I don't know if people want to go there now for during COVID. What was that happening? Yeah.
I'm actually supposed to go there in April for work, and I'm not entirely, they've canceled that trip twice, so I'm not sure that we're ever going to get to Vegas for work.
Now, what's the trip for, if you may like to indulge?
It's a training. So we're having a training seminar
Okay.
that's supposed to take place in Vegas, but the company is also sending us to Cirque du Soleil.
Oh.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't know if this is actually going to happen because they've canceled it a couple of times, but we're supposed to go for this training in April. We'll see.
Shit, when my work does a training, they send us to a different building. They
Yeah.
don't give us a trip. I'm like, shit, what the hell?
Well, that's what happens when you work for basically a pharmaceutical company. They treat you pretty well.
I was gonna go and do that at one point, but then something told me like, no. Now I'm like, you asshole. Actually the pharmaceutical supervisor over there, we called when I was applying, and the guy just sat down and goes, so actually this is what he did. He was like, he goes, so yeah.
Oh my God.
Does the thing with the pen. He goes, so he goes, tell me about your career. And he has his notepad out. Maybe that's the reason why I got this whole fucking thing, because the thing he did.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He goes, tell me about your career. I'm like, well, I work for a warehouse, so I don't know if that's a career. He goes, I'm looking here at your resume, and you've been doing that for 20 years. That's a career. I'm
Oh God.
like, okay. I'm like, if you say so. So my career is, forklift, and I pick things up, I put them down. Kind of like the commercial in the gym. I don't want to say it like that, but Basically, that's what it was. Oh, this is gonna be something. I gotta try to put this together. Oh, snakes in the airplane. Maybe they'll fly by. You know,
Oh, that'll be funny. Yeah.
yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Phobias,
Yeah.
and maybe a skydiving. Circus Soleil would be on the ground, and a whole bunch of scorpions. And William Shatner is gonna be in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, he's got to be in there.
Oh no, you know what it's gonna be? I got it. I'm gonna do a whole 2012 like scenario, and like the movie,
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
and 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 try to see if I can get William Shatner just like stealing a whole bunch of toilet paper. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, do that. Do that. Do that.
And the Circus Soleil
Yeah.
is running as well, and his snakes are in the airplane and flying around. Oh my god, it's gonna be a fun. Oh, it's gonna be good though. And I usually ask this question, but I can't because, well, there is a question that I used to ask, which was like, who's gonna die first, Betty White or Keith Richards?
Oh
But
shit. Well, we figured that one out.
yeah, well, fate has had it,
Unfortunately. Yeah,
and
unfortunately.
so my other question is pineapple on pizza, yay or nay?
No.
Oh, thank God, thank you.
No.
I'm like, why would somebody want to put pineapple on a pizza?
That just doesn't even make any. Oh dear God, I see that and I just go, no.
It's like the disease in society.
It really is. Yeah, it's
Like,
like, would you put peanut butter on a ham sandwich? No.
I'm not really a fan of ham sandwich, but I wouldn't do that anyway. I mean,
Right.
and Twitter, somebody posted something of, what was it? Cinnamon buns that's cut open and they have bacon in it, which is fine. But then they have Kit Kats in it as well.
No.
And I'm like, it's like how my girlfriend, it's like how my
No.
girlfriend would say, no. Oh
I just,
no.
I mean, I'm such a foodie. I love to eat,
Yeah.
but I like my food to be separated.
Like, oh, this sounds
You
just
know,
like
I mean,
me.
it's I don't want my Kit Kats in with my bacon. I want
Oh,
my Kit
wait,
Kats over here and my bacon over there, and
wait
probably on separate days.
a minute. Hold on. Are you the type of person that when you get your food, you eat one certain food first and then go in order?
Oh, you're gonna hate me. Yes.
Don't worry. No. I do the same. No, I'm not gonna hate you because I do the same fucking thing.
I do. I
I
do
do the
go
same
around.
fucking thing. And my mom looks at me, she goes, Are you out of your mind? What the hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, and my girlfriend, because we started going out, we went to a diner and I ordered, I had like the burger, fry. No, I'm sorry, I didn't have a burger. Right? I had the basic like breakfast like platter. So I had like
Yeah.
eggs, sausage, home fries, and whatnot. So I eat the home fries, and then I had the sausage, and then I had the bread, and then I eat like the eggs. And she goes, "Why didn't you mix it up?" I'm like, "I just do like that." She goes, "You are weird," and I'm like, "I thought it was something I always do, and I do that
Yeah,
with
it's
my
just the
mom."
way I eat. It's just what I do. But
Wow,
yeah,
I get
and I'll start with the thing that I like the least
it.
and
what
then work my
what is
way
your
around.
least food to have?
Vegetables. Like and it's like broccoli. You know, if you put you've got to put a steak and a potato on my plate because in the because if you're going to put broccoli on my plate, it better go with something that's good.
I'm I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's like I'm talking to myself. I hate vegetables.
I don't like
I don't
vegetables.
holy my brother tells me, he goes, "You are the most unhealthy motherfucker I know." You know,
And you know what's really funny is like you go in for like your blood screens and all that stuff, and my
yeah.
doctor will say, "Well, your blood sugar looks good, your
Yeah.
cholesterol looks great, what are you doing?" And it's like, "Well,
Nothing.
I'm yeah, I'm eating like I normally eat and I do whatever I want, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like you should be dead. You should just be
Yeah.
dead.
I know. I was like, and I even said to myself, like, I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm like, I go and say, oh, you know what? I don't think I'm going to make it past 56, you know, and maybe because of that whole thing. And I, for some reason, I don't know why I thought of that when I was younger. And I'm like, and I still think about that, but maybe because of what I eat and what of lack of eating or something. And it's just funny. There's just somebody out there that's just like me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's the way I eat. I'll start on my plate and they'll bring Brussels sprouts, for God's sakes, yuck. And I'll start with those just so that I can get the green stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
And then I'll work my way around. I'll eat the potato next, and then I'll eat my steak.
You know, because I was it my wife tried it. We had Chinese food. We're at a Chinese food place. And you know, like when you order something, I said no vegetables, and you know, so they usually do it, but then for some reason, like I had the sesame chicken, and sesame chicken, you know, I had the fried rice and everything else, but then they had like a couple things of like, you know, broccoli in there.
Right.
And I'm like, oh. And then also my wife's like looking at me, she goes, well, why don't you just eat that? I was like, it's green, you know. It's fucking green. She goes, just try it. Have you ever tried? She goes, I'm dealing with a baby here. Just try it. Did your mom ever have it? She goes, I'm like, listen, my mom tried to feed me like vegetables, and I do that whole like, yeah, you know. And all of a sudden, you know, I'll try and I do that face, like I'll put it down, I'm like, oh, no, I don't know. Oh God.
Yeah.
Am I done? Yeah. And she goes,
I
okay.
tried it. I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
I tried it. I'm good.
Yeah,
When I was
exactly. I said to her, I'm like, listen, I tried it. I did what you want. That was it. Be happy. She goes, here, just give me it. I'll eat it. I'm like, thank God. Thank you. Boom. I ate my thing before she even finished hers. You know,
when when I was a kid, they would load us up with everything, and there was a rule where you had to eat everything on your plate.
yeah.
And they put peas on my plate, and a lot of them, knowing that I didn't like peas. So I sat there and I waited. I mean, I must have sat at that table for an hour after everyone else was done and the dishes were cleared. And I just waited them out until they finally and they try and pull that stuff on you. They're starving children in China, and it's like, well, what are you gonna do? Send them my plate? Okay. Oh, they'd be
There's
starving.
people in Ethiopia that would eat this before you do. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so let them do it. You
Yeah,
can send them
exactly.
food.
I'm like, hey, but then, you know, thank God we had dogs. And I'm like, listen, Toto here would go and eat it for me. You know, you know, it's like, you know, just like you hear scraping of things like, what are you doing? Like, no, I just,
Nothing.
you know, you know, Sparky over here, kind of like took my food. And what did he take? I'm like, the vegetables.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
green
you're
stuff.
supposed to eat that first. I'm like, well, he was hungry. He looked at it. He liked it. Yeah. Yeah. He was
Mhm.
very curious of what it was. It was either this or he ate his own crap. I don't know. Yeah. Which that's what they, you know, you know, that's what's funny. It was like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I'm just going to kiss the dog. And then you never know, but the dog would like, you know, eat his own crap or lick his own.
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You're like, oh my God, his breath smells so nice. No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
no.
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 Yeah, that's when the
Yeah.
disease and society
That's
come into play.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good start right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when you're younger and you grow up and, you know, like when older, like when the older people, you know, nowadays we go and say, it's like, oh, what, you know, don't drink from the hose, you know, that you're going to die from the hose. I'm like, listen, I drank from the hose when I was 18 years old. I turned out fine, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we did that. It was like it was hot, and you know, actually, was it every time I was watching a George Lopez comedy stage, and and everything that he would talk about, I have lived it. You know,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
he would talk about the hose And then he goes,
Mhm.
oh, and then when you drink from the hose, it could be hot in the beginning and then it got cold. And then you didn't want any more. You just hold the pressure, you know?
Yep, yep. Did
And
he
then,
talk about riding in the back of a pickup truck
yeah,
and
you know,
riding in the car without seatbelt?
the seatbelts, and you're always like laying in the car with the windshield, you know,
Yes.
you're in the windshield of the front windshield just doing shit. And there's, dad drinking a beer while you're driving.
Oh,
And,
yeah, absolutely.
and
Andres, I
then,
need to run and get a battery pack. I will be right back
okay,
because I'm losing battery quickly.
okay.
I don't know why, but hold on just a moment.
So, folks, she's going to get her battery and everything else. And the internet is unstable. I guess the internet is unstable by her because her battery is going really low. So, hopefully, within time, she will, have a, something, going on, and we'll put on some waiting music. Hold on, let's see what happens here. Elevator waiting. So, this is good music. Oh, well,
Okay, doke, that's
ah.
better.
I was talking while you're doing the whole thing, and I'm like, let's put on some elevator music. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, baby. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what it's all about. Oh, I didn't know that's gonna go like that. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, I thought it was just gonna go, yeah, and then that was it. Yeah.
Oh no, it has to be a big deal.
I know. It's like, I'm like, oh my God, why can't he just be like, boom, and that was it. But that was cool. I like that segue was really nice. The whole
Sorry
elevator
about
thing.
I looked down and it was like, oh my God, my battery is drained. Oh.
Now, are you doing this on a laptop or?
I am. Yeah, I do everything on a laptop.
Oh yeah, pretty much everybody does. I got like, I had an older one that my girlfriend gave me, or her mom actually gave me, and then it just starts slowing down, and I'm like, what? Fuck it, I'm gonna get a new one. And I'll still use the old one to whatever, do like, I don't know, whatever's on there I could be able to do. And but I keep it plugged in. Actually, I just put it in the outlet, plug it in, so that way it's just continuous juice.
Yeah, and I think that once I move, I mean, I live in an apartment right now, and so my studio is my closet.
Ah,
Yeah, which is really,
oh,
obnoxious.
believe me,
and
there's
crazy, but
people that had used the closet for their studio.
oh, let me tell you, it seems like that was the best choice I had, and someone suggested it to me when I first started podcasting. And so that's what I did. And I come in my closet and I do that. But I can't sit in my closet and like write a script or do anything else. So I'm dragging this laptop all over the place. And
Yeah,
as soon as I move out of this apartment and get into a real house where I have another room that I can
yeah,
actually make a studio in,
yeah. That's
life will be
what we're doing.
so much better,
That's
and
what
then I
I'm
have,
doing with mine. It's gonna be like, uh, because right now we're, like I said, we're in an apartment, and
mm,
like anything you could think of that could be happening is pretty much happening.
right.
And like you got like the meth labs like around the corner of the
Oh,
apartment.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
um Somebody yelling and screaming, and and then there's like kids vandalizing certain shit and whatever. And then, oh, this is the best one, and I know people heard this like already, but I'm gonna say it again. It's like there's like Thanksgiving coming home, and we went to our sister. Oh, you went to my sister's for Thanksgiving. Came back home, watching a movie. It was like, you know, not even 1 o'clock until we went to bed. And I heard, I see flashing lights, but then I heard beeping, like, somebody bagging up to, like get
Yeah,
towed.
yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I didn't think anything of it, and then we went to sleep, woke up. It was like, I don't know, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning or some shit. We go to the garage that we have, like a garage from the apartment area. They give you a garage that goes with the apartment. So we got that,
Right.
and then we go in there to get our Christmas shit. As soon as we got there, there is a crime scene van right across the street. And I'm like, oh,
Oh,
what the fuck? And then all of a sudden we're walking back, and then we always have like the neighbors or like there's a guy that, well, there was a guy that we called the mayor. Yeah,
uh-huh.
because he'll sit there in his chair, and then he'll like oversee like the whole area and just look around and
Oh
like,
yeah, and he knows everything
yeah,
that's going on. Yeah.
exactly. He knows everything. I mean, guy, and honestly, the guy passed away like a couple weeks ago, and rest in peace, mayor. But he would, like, it was like, oh, these people are moving out here. This one's going to go down here.
Yeah.
Something's going on over there. Somebody backed up a toilet over there. You know, but then I'm like, okay. And then there's this other woman that's like around the corner from our building, and she knows like everybody that's going on. And then so we're like, so what's going on with the crime scene van? It's like, oh, somebody got shot. We caught it on Thanksgiving. And then I'm like, really? It's like, I guess they
Oh.
didn't like the meat. And I'm like, huh? What? They didn't like the meat. I'm like, shit, I would have just walked down instead of shooting
I
someone.
know. That's not funny, but it's funny,
It's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's
And
funny. It's not funny.
it sounds like Albuquerque. So I live in an apartment complex that's sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
I came home one day from work and I went and grabbed my dog to take her outside because she'd been inside all day.
Yeah.
We get outside. She does her business, and usually I take her around, just take her around the apartment complex a little bit, let her walk, let her play. And just as she finished her business, I saw like all of these undercover police cars drive
Yeah.
up. And I'm like, okay, we better go. We have to go, And she's like, but I want to stay out. No, we got to go. So I hustle her upstairs, get her into the apartment, and they raided the apartment next door.
Yeah, that was like the other thing. They had a meth lab. They raided one meth lab. There was one under investigation, and then so we recently got those Ring cameras.
Yeah.
So we put that in there, and for some reason, the Ring camera works when you have like the door open.
Right.
But when you have the door closed, because I think it's a metal door,
Hmm.
and it doesn't get the certain frequency to your
Right.
phone, so you can't really go and turn it on to see what's out there or whatever. It's saying, oh, it's not like updated or something. I'm like, the fuck is this shit? So, but we were like, listen, if anything else goes on wrong, then we're gonna let them know in June or July, that we are moving. So
Yeah.
now we've been looking around at certain places, and we're looking at manufactured homes, which are mobile homes,
Right. Hmm.
and they were really nice. It's like because we went to a couple of them, and you figured, okay, they're kind of small, but they're really roomy. Like you get like 2 to 3 bedrooms,
Yep.
and you got a living room, you got 2 bathrooms at most, if you could. The most you can get is 2 bathrooms.
Right.
And you got the kitchen like in a separate area. You got your laundry kind of thing in the area, and a small backyard, but hey, it is what it is. So so we're looking at it, and there was like, and then my girlfriend just looked at it, and she goes, you know what? I was against the whole thing, but I kind of like the idea of a mobile home. And I'm like,
Like a real house instead of an apartment.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a real house. I mean, it's by
Mhm.
itself. You are around
Yeah.
other people, but hey, you got like something that is yours, that's huge, and you could be able to use it as you wish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Yeah.
we saw one uh that is like a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Awesome looking. It looks great on the inside as well, and it's like decent size. And there's a certain things that you need. There's like a dishwasher we need to put in, but hey, That's not a problem. And it has like 2 bathrooms, it has like 3 bedrooms, and it has all this extra stuff, a skylight, and it was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, let's get this shit on the road, and then let's try to see what we could be able to afford. And that was the whole thing. And I think that's what my girlfriend's kind of like worried about, that our credit score might not be up to par or something.
Yeah.
Which I think will be all
Yeah.
right, because it's a mobile home. I don't think it's like a big, huge house.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you can afford doing an apartment with the amount that they're talking about, I think we can do, that.
Right.
So, but it'll be all good. And she knows, like, and she used to work at a real estate office, so she knows like certain things that we need to get done. And I'm like, okay, cool. I used to live in Pennsylvania, and I didn't have to do shit. We looked at houses with this realtor. We didn't have to put money down or anything. We just see if we get approved for like a loan or something, and we
Right.
had the money,
Right.
and look for a house. Hey, you got the house. Okay,
That's
cool.
that's where we're at down here. Is that, well, you have to have some pre-approvals, and right now the real estate market down here is crazy, and I'm not sure why anybody would want to move to Albuquerque.
I don't know. I
I
got
mean, the weather's nice, but there's a lot wrong. There's a lot that you don't want to move to Albuquerque
yeah,
for.
especially when you got all those snakes and scorpions
Snakes
and
and scorpions and
tarantulas.
tarantulas. Yeah. Well, they're only around for a little while, but
William
they're just
Shatner behind the curtain. you know, the mafia down the street. No,
yeah.
uh,
Well,
what
the cartels.
again? There you got the mafia. There you
Yeah,
go.
the mafia.
Why is there a body on the floor? We'll go ask, Billy Bob over there. But so I think that's about it. So there was a no on the pineapple.
Pizza?
Yeah, the
No,
pineapple
no
pizza.
pineapple.
So that's
No.
so I'll put like a do not eat with a pineapple in there,
There
and
you go.
we'll put that in there with the airplane. No. Yeah. But Jackie, thank you for being on the show. It was a
Thank you for
pleasure. You
having
got
me.
we are in unison. We have the same mind frame. We have the same eating habits.
Yeah,
It's
isn't
like
that odd?
no vegetables, and we eat in order. You know,
Yes. And no pineapple on that, or no pineapple on your pizza.
well, yeah,
Mm-mm.
that should be everybody's fucking scenario. No
Right?
pineapples on the pizza, folks. I don't care if you live in California or on the edge of the earth. You not put pineapples on fucking pizza.
Well, and you people from the back east, you have like really, really good pizza.
Yeah,
You know your pizza.
yeah,
And so
definitely.
that's why I was kind of surprised when you said, yeah, no pineapple. And I was like,
Well, no,
okay,
there's friends of mine that are like, oh, let's try the pineapple with the pizza. No, it's not. No,
no,
exactly. And she,
no.
and she has my girlfriend's voice. No. It's like, no, 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 no.
No.
Now, if I could be able to see you doing that, you'd be like, no.
Yeah, hold on.
but, but, oh, she's gonna love this. I was like, wait, there's somebody else that does the same thing you do. Like, yes, it does.
Oh yeah. See, I didn't want
Is
you
it?
to see my closet.
What? Aha!
No.
We see her. Yes. We have visual.
Visual.
And she's sideways like it's Batman.
Yeah, because I'm balancing everything on boxes. It's just ridiculous the way I have to do this.
It's crazy. It's crazy, I tell you. But thank you. Tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere. I am on Instagram and Facebook at Cause of Death. Twitter is at Cause of Death Pen. And I am on Linktree at Cause of Death Pod.
Now that's Linktree with linktr.ee /
Cause of Death.
or the
Pod.
death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, are you part of the because when I talked to Rainbow that reached
CJ,
out to
yeah.
you,
Mhm, mhm.
and they're in a network, right?
Yes.
They're doing a
Yes,
network. Now you're part of the network as well,
I
right?
am. I'm part of the Darkcast network.
Yeah. Now, how do
Yes.
you go into? Is that like a network that has all different podcasts going in there, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
have to
There's
make an
plenty of us.
application, or
Yes. Yes.
you
And
do?
I was one of the first ones to be invited in. And so yeah, they asked me to come in
Okay.
as one of their podcasters.
So
Yeah.
you just you're in a group of shit, I forgot what the word was again.
It's
The
kind of a guild.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a guild where
I
and
wonder if
most
they'll have me on. I don't know. Yeah.
they might. They
Yeah.
might. They do. Most of them are true crime. It's true crime and kind of obscura.
Oh, okay.
And
So it
so
has to be a certain kind of podcast.
I
Okay.
fall into the obscura side. I was like, I'm not sure why you want me in this guild because
Well,
I'm not really, I don't do crime.
well, no, but
You
you
know?
do like diseases and all that, and that kind of like goes hand in hand.
It kind of coexists.
Yeah, it
to some
coexists with
degree.
like that kind of thing. So it is like a dark kind of thing, and
Yes,
you know.
yes.
Now I gotta find out where they have like stuff, because my podcast is not, mine's like all over the place. So I don't know if there's like one like that anyway. So
There's got to be a guild. There's got to be something for that. God, what was the one that
but you said it was Dark Cast?
Dark Cast?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So well, I'm not gonna reach out to them because like you said that they are crime podcast.
Dark themed, dark
Yeah, dark
themed.
theme and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Mine's like uppity with some darkness in there. I like horror movies, but um
But there is a guild that works with things like you do.
yeah.
Yeah, and I can't think of the name of it right off the top of my head.
If you do come across it, can you send it to me like in a message?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you. We
of
call,
course, of
because
course.
I'm doing pretty good myself, but it'd be nice to have a little bit more a push.
It never hurts to have a boost.
Yeah.
It never
Especially,
hurts to
they
have
can
that
help
boost.
you out and get you adjusted and get you out there
And the thing
whatnot.
is with this, we all talk to each other, and I'll say, well, my sound sucks, and I don't think there's anything I can do about it. And they're like, well, there's probably not, because you're living on the third floor and you've got all this noise around you, and so there, the best you can do is go in there.
And you're in a closet. No.
Yes, I'm in the. Oh my gosh, yeah, that was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do the video thing because all you see is.
No, you don't. I don't. You don't see anything as it is. Honestly, when you do, when you do the like, say when you do this, like the Zoom, there is a
Mhm.
thing that you could put like the background. You see the background.
Oh yeah.
So you could put whatever background that you have, like say of yours. That
Interesting.
your thing. And I found this out from this guy, Big Nick, and he told me about it. And that's how I got like a new laptop, and it worked out pretty well, now. So,
I'm gonna
so
have to
it has
do
this,
that. So
that way
it's
you
like
don't
a.
have to worry, about the surroundings.
That's really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll figure out how to
See,
do
right
that.
now, you can't tell, but I'm in the Satan's hellhole right now, and
Really? So there's
yeah, and
fire and
I
brimstone
know it's kind of
and
hot in here. That's why I had to drink a whole bunch
yeah.
of liquid. Like fine bag, but and they give you chips. Yeah.
Oh. So
But
that's
yeah,
what hell is.
yeah. So you could do something like this, to be serious about it. You can get something like that and then put it in the background, so you don't have to worry about your technical background being worried about it.
Okay.
You know,
I'll do that.
so that
I'll
way
do
you can.
that.
So next time when you're on, you can have like the video. You can just like, hey, whatever, and then you have your thing promoted on the background. This is
That
what it
would be
is.
so cool. Yeah, yeah. I'll work on figuring that one
You
out.
know, or you can have
Cool.
like the dark cast, you know, or you can do certain things or whatever or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
But like I said, hold on, let me see what's going on here. Oh, uh, yeah. So also you can check me out. I know I completely forgot to tell you about me. You can go to Linktree, linktr.ee// Tattoo Squid Podcast. That's TA2SQUID. And it has everything from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, which I'm rarely on, but I'll be on there. And you go to Twitter, which is at podcast tattoo squid. So it's kind of like reversed, you know. So if you got something wrong with your eyes, there's nothing wrong with your eyes. It's just the way it is. You know, it's it's like it's not you're not dyslexic. It's the way Twitter want me to put it. So, but as it is, thank you, Jackie, for being on, and it was very a learning experience, about the diseases and that you were doing all this stuff, and thank you for helping us out and finding out what to do. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I appreciate everybody. I try. I appreciate everybody that comes on here that can deal with me. Yeah, I'm a good guy. I can deal with anybody. I can talk to anybody. I can, we can always like make everything work.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully by the end of this season, I'll try to get everybody back for a huge Zoom chat. That's
Oh,
gonna be
that'd be fun.
yeah, that's gonna be a clusterfuck. I'm gonna need some kind of like, I'm going to need some society kind of thing helping out here, and I'm going to need major amount of toilet
Major toilet paper.
paper.
Get pallets of toilet paper.
Yeah, like listen, bring the Charmin. I want to squeeze the Charmin right now. Thank you. Yeah, don't bring the snakes or the mafia. But, but and also, yeah, the toilet paper caper. That's what we're gonna call this.
That is hilarious. I love it.
So, anybody else you want to do a shout out for? Or do is anything else you want to promote?
I do want to give a shout out to my friend and fellow podcaster Eric Carter Landine.
Okay,
True Consequences. And
that's
that
the
is
name of the podcast.
yeah.
All right,
True
we'll put that on there. True Consequences. How
Consequences.
you spell that? Consequent. Well, it'll work out.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the
They'll
name of the
they'll
podcast.
they'll be in yeah, that's the name of the podcast. And he does all true crime in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And he's doing a fantastic job getting some victims advocacy done and getting some laws changed down here so that possibly we can turn our crime rate around because our crime rate is horrible.
It's like this guy Tim McCarthy that's in Massachusetts. Actually, he does 20-10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he does like mental health stuff and
I think I have listened to his podcast.
yeah. Oh, he's awesome. Yeah, it's like he donates to battered women service, I guess what it is, and the suicide hotline, and helps out with like he has like a bunch of different guests, and which he has like wrestlers on there, which I want to get on there too. And I'm trying to get celebrities. And also Broken Lizard, does Super Troopers. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you ever know. I don't know if you know the
That
movie.
one I don't. That one I don't know.
Oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch Super Troopers. Anyway,
Okay.
if you look at Broken Lizard, they got a whole bunch of different movies that they do.
Oh, okay.
And if you like comedy and all that, and like really slapstick kind of like, like, oh my God, really? Is like that kind of comedy, then you'll like watching this. You check that out. And I might as well, hey, we're gonna be doing Broken Lizard, and hopefully these guys will see that I love these guys and they should be coming on my show. Hint, hint. Anyway.
And I also need to give a shout out to CJ John, who she's one that got me hooked up with you. So and her
okay. Rainbow.
Yeah, Rainbow Crimes. Oh my God.
Yeah, Rainbow Crimes, I think. Rainbow.
That's her address.
Well, I'll get it on there.
Yeah,
I
yeah, get her on
because I
there.
usually tag like when I put the thing out, and whatever I honorable mentions, I'll put down the name, and then I be able to tag it on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah.
go and do that, and then whatever promos I put on there, and if you have like a promo or something, you know, actually,
Oh, can I
I'll talk to you after we finish this, and then I'll talk to
Okay,
you anyway. So
sure.
all right, so folks, check out Cause of Death. Interesting stuff. You're gonna find out about anything from diseases, society stuff, and find out about anything from COVID, and it's like a mind-boggling to figure out all this stuff, and she'll walk you through it like a champ. So all right, everybody, have a good night. Take it easy.